Saturday, February 22nd, you are invited to A Night with the Panthers, a special fundraiser dedicated to supporting Black Panther veterans who now require assistance with essential needs such as medicine, food, and housing. These Black Panther veterans championed human rights, fed the hungry, educated the community, and stood as powerful symbols of resistance and resilience. Despite their incredible sacrifices, loving and serving the people did not come with retirement plans or financial security. So, now it's our time to honor their legacy and ensure that they are cared for with the dignity they deserve. You can help by attending and supporting A Night with the Panthers, Saturday, February 22nd, 6:30 p.m. to 10 p.m. at the Project 43 Team Post Center, 6841 Crenshaw Boulevard, Los Angeles. For more information, contact blackpantherpartybreakfast@gmail.com or call 707-554-2784. That's blackpantherpartybreakfast@gmail.com or call 707-554-2784. This is a community call to action from KBLA Talk 1580. At KBLA Talk 1580, we've got your black.
Hey, so I'm calling your show, 'cause I need to know. Show me which way to go before I throw my man out the door.
Okay, hold on a second, Keisha. Just let me ask Ronald exactly what's going on, because it takes two to tango, and I need to hear his side of the story.
So she's driving me insane, got stress heavy on my brain. She keeps playing silly games, man, I'm about to bring the pain. We seem to fuss and fight every day and every night. Please give some advice so we can see the light, see the light.
Welcome to my latest YouTube video. Today I'm going to talk about a meme that I made a really long time ago, probably about a year after the first edition of the Human Magnet Syndrome was published, maybe 2014. It was codependents, or SLDs, people who are self-love deficient. They take a handful of breadcrumbs and mistake it for a piece of bread. And that meme was really popular. People liked it, they shared it. They even wrote back and told me how they could use it to simply understand their codependency. And so what I did was I took this metaphor of bread as, a nutritional piece of food, and to use it as an explanation of a relationship that has two partners who share in the distribution of love, respect, caring, and trust, LRCT. Incidentally, in my Human Magnet Syndrome books, the definition of codependency, very simple definition, is a person who gives all of the love, respect, caring, and trust in a relationship, wants it to be reciprocal or mutual, finds out that it is not, and depending on their personality, they either try to equalize it but fail, or they never try to equalize it. And that is as simple as it needs to be because it cuts across all types of codependence or SLDs, all the personality types, all the differences. No matter if you're what I call an active codependent, a cerebral codependent, an anorexic codependent, or the other personality types, all are involved in relationships in which they give all, or if not most, of the LRCT, love, respect, caring, and trust. They want it or hope that it will be returned. It's not, and they stay. So I use LRCT as bread. In a healthy relationship, LRCT, or a piece of delicious, yummy bread, is given as much as it's taken. And no one counts or keeps track of it because it's done naturally, because of someone's affection and love, because of someone's shared values, because of mental health, a shared connection of two mentally healthy people. But the sad reality is SLDs, people with self-love deficit disorder, or as the world knows as codependents, they never experienced a relationship in which there was this mutual exchange of bread. And of course, if you are listening on my podcast, you missed my air quotes. The problem with SLDs is that they don't even think of a piece of bread because a long time ago, all the way back in their childhood, they were fed crumbs. They were fed pieces of bread that was very inconsistently given to them. They were hungry all the time. And when there were breadcrumbs or pieces of bread, that is what they thought of. And that's what they came to understand as someone giving them nurturing, sustenance, support, caring, love, respect. And if you get used to it as a child and learn to adapt to times in which you get those little pieces of bread or the breadcrumbs, and that is good, that makes you happy, then you come to believe, well, that's the norm. I don't know much about diets, but the one thing that I know...
Ooh, Lord. Ross Rossenberg. It's a Monday. He came for everybody's head. I'm not mad at Ross. I love his book, The Human Magnet Syndrome, Why Hurt People Hurt People. I think it's an amazing book. I'm always pushing it. I'm always telling people to read it and check it out. It's quite amazing. And it's a book that also centers on this concept that Krishnamurti was speaking about way back in the 20s. The concept of relationship as a mirror. So we've talked about the mirror relationship effect in an interpersonal sense, but we can also talk about it in an intrapersonal sense, the relationship with oneself. Now, again, as he outlined, a lot of this stuff happens in childhood, and then he says if you adapt to it, you tend to think that that is your normal. So imagine if you were breadcrumbed by your first most significant relationship with your primary caregiver, i.e. your mother or father. Oftentimes it's just your mother. Imagine if she emotionally breadcrumbed you and you heard his acronym: love, kindness, care, respect. You heard the acronym that he used there. Imagine if that was breadcrumbed to you. You learn to survive off of nothing, basically, right? So think about your intrapersonal relationship with self. That's your primary caregiver. You grow up in the world with the idea that, that is the person I'm supposed to love. That is the person who loved me. Oftentimes you are conflicted by, the type of love you got. It's almost impossible to not compare when you start to go out into the world, when you start to go to school, you start to meet your friends' parents. So tonight's topic is going to delve into this, man. And again, the attachment style comes into play as well. and that happens in early childhood as well. So think about it. You had a parent that was inconsistent. So maybe you developed anxious, preoccupied. You got a worthiness wound. Look at the mirror of relationship in attachment theory. For somebody with a worthiness wound, they want closeness, they want approval, they want connection, but internally, they're disconnected. They're avoidant internally. Listen to what I'm saying. You hear me say, oh, you get who you are. The anxious, preoccupied person is avoidant internally, meaning they're not taking care of themselves because they think the value is going to come from someone giving them what they didn't get in childhood. So internally avoidant, right? That's your anxious, preoccupied. They don't want to see it. They don't want to deal with it. They just know at some point somebody's going to show up and give them what they didn't get. Oh, conversely, the avoidant people are the same in reverse. They love connection. They want connection. They long for connection. But when they get connection, because of what happened in early childhood, they see connection as a threat. They see it as an encroachment upon their independence. They see it as smothering because they learned early on to self-soothe because they had a parent who didn't approve of the full emotional range that they expressed. So they knew, oh, I get rewarded for this kind of emotion. I get shunned for this one. And then the fearful avoidant, i.e. disorganized, is they have both of those wounds. So now they view their primary caregiver as terrifying. But at the same time, there's a longing to receive love from the person that is terrifying. So now it makes me ask the question which leads us to tonight's topic. Are you a bare minimalist? An intriguing look at why you might breadcrumb yourself. Are you breadcrumbing your healing journey? The human psyche is a battlefield of paradoxes, where self-neglect masquerades as enlightenment. Trauma bonds disguise themselves as love, and spiritual rhetoric cloaks narcissistic evasion. Are we starving the ego into submission or silencing our wounded inner child? Which one is it? 1-800-920-1580. Get to your phone lines. Get ready, get ready, get ready, get ready, get ready, get ready, get ready. Does absence from connection breed devotion or delusion? The modern pursuit of happiness is a war between detachment and desire. Yet, do we even, are y'all ready? Are y'all ready? Detachment, it just hit me hard. I'm sorry. Let me say it again. The modern pursuit of happiness is a war between detachment and desire. Yet, do we even own our own suffering? Or has it been programmed into us? On tonight's episode of The Voice of Reason, we seek to dismantle the sacrosanct illusions, exposing karmic loops, pseudo-spiritual narcissism, and the weaponization of identity. What if everything you believe about love, self, and transcendence is a lie? Breadcrumbing the ego versus nurturing the inner child. Starving yourself into spirituality or integrating your fractured psyche. Which one are you doing? Do you know the difference? 1-800-920-1580. How does self-neglect masquerade as self-discipline in modern spirituality? Is detachment a higher state of being or a trauma response? Come on, avoidance. Y'all call in 1-800-920-1580. The paradox of self-transcendence. Do we kill the ego or does it integrate itself when loved? 1-800-920-1580. A lot of us are breadcrumbing ourselves. It goes back to Carl Jung, right? Many people will do anything, no matter how absurd it is, to avoid looking at themselves. That's an act of breadcrumbing. You don't want to see yourself because in the non-judgmental observation of self, there is an opportunity. Yes, it hurts. Yes, it's scary. Many people call it the dark night of the soul. Why do spiritual seekers often weaponize non-attachment to justify emotional deprivation? Here's the empirical insight. Studies on attachment theories and self-compassion suggest that avoidance of one's needs under the guise of ego death mirrors early childhood neglect patterns rather than true enlightenment. 1-800-920-1580. Does absence make the heart overvalue the self-love deficit disorder, SLDD, of romanticizing what's missing? 1-800-920-1580. Are you breadcrumbing yourself? Are you giving yourself enough? Are you simply just waiting for the Lord stork to show up? I'm going to wait till God send me mine. Are you doing any work to expedite that heavenly UPS? Are you doing any self-work? No one is coming to save you, not even the one you love, not even the one you marry. It is still your job. Even when you get into a committed relationship, you are still your job. 1-800-920-1580. Why do people glorify unavailable partners while devaluing those who are present? Is the chase in relationship an addiction to self-neglect or an illusion of scarcity? How does childhood emotional starvation condition adults to confuse neglect with love? 1-800-920. This is a deep one. This is a real situation. I don't know if you're ready to go in this far, but this is where we are. Are you in love with a person or your unhealed wounds? Here we go. When I come forward, the voice of reason is going straight to the phone lines. I want to talk to everybody. Let's get it going.
Reasons. The reasons that we're here, the reasons that we fear, our feelings won't disappear. You're listening to the voice of reason with Zoe Williams on KBLA Talk 1580.
The new year brings new health goals and wealth goals. Protecting your identity is an important step. Your info is in endless places that could expose you to identity theft, leading to lost funds. LifeLock monitors millions of data points per second. If your identity is stolen, our restoration specialists will fix it, guaranteed, or your money back. Resolve to make identity health and wealth part of your New Year's goals with LifeLock. Save up to 40% your first year with promo code NEWS. Visit lifelock.com. Terms apply.
Our daughter Jessie loves playing detective.
A clue.
But since we discovered she has sensitive skin, we've been playing detective too.
We thought the problem was our puppy.
But it was actually our old detergent.
Aha.
So we switched to Tide Free and Gentle. Tide Free and Gentle provides an excellent Tide clean, and it doesn't leave behind irritating residues like dyes or perfumes, so it's gentle on your skin.
Case closed.
If it's got to be clean, it's got to be Tide Free and Gentle.
You say you'd never give in to a meltdown and never fill your feed with kid photos. You say you'd never put a pacifier in your mouth to clean it and never let them run wild through the grocery store. So when you say you'd never let them get into a car without you there, no, it can happen. 1 in 4 hot car deaths happen when a kid gets into an unlocked car and can't get out. Never happens. Before you leave the car, always stop, look, lock. Brought to you by NHTSA and the Ad Council.
Prescriptions require an online consultation with a healthcare provider who will determine if appropriate. Restrictions apply. See website for details and important safety information. Price varies based on product and subscription plan.
Did you know that 1 in 4 people seeking treatment for ED are under 40? HIMS can help. Get started at hims.com/joy. Through hims.com, you can access a full range of treatment options for ED, including daily or as-needed meds through a 100% online process. To start your free online visit and save up to 95%, go to hims.com/joy.
KBLA Talk 1580. We've got a lot to talk about.
KBLA
KBLA Talk 1580 is committed to self-care and community well-being. Walk Good LA was formed in June 2020, inspired by the Black Lives Matter movement and the beginning stages of the COVID-19 pandemic. What began as a few minutes of breath work and yoga meditation before protests against police brutality turned into a safe space for the community to heal in hard times. The immensely positive response from the community transformed the momentum into a movement. Today, Walk Good LA is a Black and Brown-led community wellness organization based in Los Angeles. They provide spaces for healing through community yoga classes, guided meditations, hikes, run clubs, and other activations throughout Los Angeles that attract hundreds of members weekly. With the help of Propel and Michael B. Jordan, they now have a yoga and wellness studio in Los Angeles called the Walk Good Yard. To join their mailing list and connect with healing spaces, please visit walkgoodla.org. That's walkgoodla.org. Or find them on Instagram at walkgoodla. This is a community call to action, a community call to healing from KBLA Talk 1580.
You know you want some more. It's the voice of reason with Zoe Williams on KBLA Talk 1580.
A helping hand to your fellow man.
Aye. What? Look. What they talking about? They ain't talking about nothing. What they talking about? They ain't talking about nothing. What they talking about? They ain't talking about nothing. What they talking about? They ain't talking about nothing. Huh? They ain't talking about nothing. Aye. What they talking about? They ain't talking about nothing. What they talking about? They ain't talking about nothing. What they talking about? They ain't talking about nothing. What they talking about? They ain't talking about nothing. Huh? They ain't talking about nothing. Pickable, I just put them bookers in my chain. Pickable, 80 pointers like a Kobe game. Pickable, 7.62s, I make them plain. Pickable, popping out, you better not smell my name. Pickable, put 2 foreigns on the 405. Pickable, Kashi Pepper, if I'm doing pasta. Pickable, why you acting tough on IG Live? Pickable, you know my little off they rocker. Pickable, surprise, this that chicken cheese. Pickable, let me FaceTime my op. I'm in the street. Pickable, yes, AGs, I'm putting something to sleep. Pickable, he on the ground, I praise God and start stumping feet. Pickable, put 10 on his face.
Fundamentally, I believe that what's happening on the planet is that the entire human race is now going through what a very few and very holy mystics have been through in their inner life, a comprehensive, overwhelming, dark night process in which all the illusions and all the institutions and all the concepts and all the dogmas that we have created our identity around are being systematically demolished and destroyed by the divine. And when you hear that from the ego, from Sam or Jonathan or Krista or Andrew ego, you are terrified. It's terrifying. But when you go into the depths of the mystical traditions, and when you understand beyond thought that what the Dark Night has always been is a potential birth canal for a wholly new level of evolutionary power and presence and passion and compassion and commitment to life. When you really get what Rumi is saying...
No, I'm sorry. Can we play him one more? I don't know if y'all understand the nuclear-sized bombs this dude is dropping. One more time. I'm sorry. Just one more time.
Fundamentally, I believe that what's happening on the planet is that the entire human race is now going through what a very few and very holy mystics have been through in their inner life, a comprehensive, overwhelming, dark night process in which all the illusions and all the institutions and all the concepts and all the dogmas that we have created our identity around are being systematically demolished and destroyed by the divine. And when you hear that from the ego, from Sam or Jonathan or Krista or Andrew ego, you are terrified. It's terrifying. But when you go into the depths of the mystical traditions, and when you understand beyond thought that what the Dark Knight has always...
So I'm back now. The dark night of the soul. He said the world is going through a dark night of the soul. He said everything you've ever known is starting to be destroyed. The systems, everything. Now, look at it psychologically. You are created by your inception. When you began, when you became conscious, you started modeling the environment and those who raised you. And you went off into your adult relationships with your known as your safety net. He's saying all of that is being torn asunder. We are moving into a new paradigm. And you hear me mention this all the time on the show. I say, hey, guess what? In a few years, psychology is going to catch up. And I give you examples of how psychology, modern psychology, is integrating Eastern principles like mindfulness and meditation and these types of things. I'm telling you now, all that stuff your mama and them taught you, what you modeled at home, that is your curriculum. It's now about becoming what you desired in another person. This is the universe. This is the paradigm that we're shifting into. You got to breadcrumb yourself in the old way. In the old way, all you had to do was align with a gender role and a responsibility. But now, the shirking of the duty of being self-responsible. And we're talking about from a psychological level. Do you see? We used to push that off on our partner in the form of expectations. We want our partners to protect our wounds. Your wounds they can't be the vanguard or the garrison for your wounds. You have to confront your wounds. That war is not your partner's war. That's your war. Karmic enmeshment cycles are trauma bonds, actually your past life contracts repeating. Boy, when I come forward, we're going to stop you from breadcrumbing yourself and then complaining when you get breadcrumbed by the mirror that you magnetized into your life.
Pull off in a lamb, double pocket all that times, mister, get off on your mans. If he hate you disrespect, you better follow up with hands. Losses to the neck, but now I'm trophied up, I'm saying like bing, bop, boom, 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 bop, bam. The type I'm on, you wouldn't understand. The type of skits I'm on, you wouldn't understand. Big dog business, I would not hold your hand. Broke business, I cannot be your man. Never got us oop until we open up that can.
He's on fire tonight. It's the voice of reason with Zoe Williams exclusively on KBLA Talk 1580.
I'm Amber Payton with 4 Things You Should Know with BIN News. A federal judge is expected to block a White House funding freeze that limited access to funds for small businesses and nonprofits. The now canceled memo sparked legal challenges as part of wider pushback against the Trump administration. Maryland's Black Attorney General Anthony Brown is allocating $1 million to form a legal team to challenge Trump's executive orders. Brown says state attorneys will defend residents' rights. Elon Musk's team now controls the U.S. Treasury's payment system, managing trillions in transactions, including Social Security and Medicare. The move aims to cut costs but raises concern among critics over economic risks. And February marks Black History Month, established in 1976 to honor African-American contributions often overlooked in history. The celebration began earlier with Carter G. Woodson, who launched Negro History Week in the 1920s. He chose February to honor Frederick Douglass and Abraham Lincoln. I'm Amber Payton on the Black Information Network, your home for Black News First.
Visit Chevrolet of Montebello for your 2025 savings. Lease a 2024 Trailblazer LS for $224 a month. APR rates as low as 0.9% on select models up to 60 months. ChevroletofMontebello.com. Together, let's drive.
At Chevrolet of Montebello.
It's KBLA Talk 1580's third annual Black History Month luncheon, and you're invited. This is year 2 of our climate justice work, and this year's $2 million 12-month campaign is all about linking and combating the relationship between climate and Black health. We already know that these wildfires will leave in their wake even greater inequities, including negative impacts on black health, given the toxic air pollutants circulating in the air we breathe. So, as part of this year's climate campaign, we're honoring black doctors and leaders in healthcare at our annual Black History Month luncheon, Friday, February 28th at noon. If you would like to join us, just go to our KBLA 1580 website and register for your chance to be our guest at the luncheon. We'd love to see you. And in case you haven't heard the news, KBLA Talk 1580 was just named one of the semifinalists for the American Climate Leadership Awards 2025. Caring about the climate, caring about the community, changing the conversation. We're KBLA Talk 1580, and we don't black down. KBLA Talk 1580. We've got a lot to talk about.
KBLA Talk 1580, connecting you with services and solutions. LA County's new Justice Care and Opportunities Department, or JCOD, is here to support justice-involved individuals and their families. The JCOD Support Center is now taking calls at 1-833-LACJCOD. That's 1-833-522-5263. Available 7 days a week from 6 a.m. to 11 p.m., the Support Center is your one-stop shop for re-entry issues and court support. They offer court reminders, connections to local services, transportation assistance for housing, court appearances, and childcare. The JCOD hotline provides personalized help to connect you with services that you need. And don't forget to check out justiceconnect.org for more information. Remember, it's free and available every day at 1-833-522-5263. This is a community call to action from KBLA Talk 1580.
Texting privacy policy and terms and conditions posted at textplan.us. Texting rules for recurring automated text marketing messages. Message and data rates may apply. Reply stop, opt out. Consult a doctor prior to use.
Wow, you look amazing. What have you been doing?
I'm sure you've heard of Ozempic, Wegovy, and the other GLP-1 medications, right? Well, I found this great company called Zelfie. If you qualify, their providers can prescribe medications like Ozempic and Wegovy and other GLP-1 medications that are 80 to 90% less expensive, all 100% online.
I can get GLP-1 medications for 80 to 90% less and do it all online? No doctor's office or pharmacy?
Yes, Zelfie can provide semaglutide or tirzepatide, the active ingredients in Ozempic and other expensive GLP-1s, but for 80 to 90% less and shipped directly to your door.
How do I get started with Zelfie?
Just send them a text.
Text BEST to 200-300 to get started today with Zelfie. Get the same active ingredients in Wegovy or Ozempic, but for 80 to 90% less and 100% online. Don't wait. Text BEST to 200-300 right now for a link to your exclusive offer. Text BEST to 200-300. That's BEST to 200-300. BEST to 200-300.
Hear that? That's the sound of your life. Perfectly imperfect. Beating in rhythm to the world you've created. But every time you drive after drinking, the music gets drowned out. Your life sounds pretty great. Don't let a buzz ruin it. Buzz driving is drunk driving. Don't drive buzzed. A message from NHTSA and the Ad Council.
Now Taxes is 100% free when you file in the TurboTax app if you didn't file with us last year.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah, just do your own taxes in the app by 2/18.
What if I have lots of forms?
All good, all 100% free.
What if I had 3 jobs?
Still 100% free.
What if I once saw Bigfoot?
That has nothing to do with taxes, so still 100% free.
Now that's what I'm talking about.
Now this is taxes. See if you qualify in the TurboTax app. Excludes TurboTax Live, must start and file in app by 2/18.
This is KBLA Talk 1580. Talk radio that's music to your ears. We're unapologetically progressive. KBLA Talk 1580. You're listening to the Voice of Reason with Zoe Williams. Only on KBLA Talk 1580.
Taking my baby to school, then I pray for it, cause you they never been cool, writing testament, painting pictures, put me in the Louvre, that's a definite, universal shift, I'm in the groove, a celebrity do not mean integrity, you fool, I'm a good man, shake your hand, firm grip rule, 72 wins, lost 10, ballin' with the flu, more than 2 M's, for a show, but add another 2, Little man, the big man's the GT down and flipping the kickstand. Rich, broke phone. Trying to keep the balance, I'm staying strong. Stop playing with me before I turn you to a song. Stop playing with me before I turn you to a song. Hey, I'm attractive. Can't with you no more, I'm fasting. I'm attractive. Can't with you no more, I'm fasting. Think morality can wait, feedback on low latency. I'm catching from the face as my thoughts grow sacredly. I'm running out of space, ask Winnie, she okay? Never mind 100K, why you lying on Benjamin? He turning in his grave, I'd be lying if I said I wouldn't get it. The weight, the aloof Buddha, I'm Christ with a shooter. Praise to Muhammad, I might lose ya. AP, Michael Friedman, my friend's cooler. Primary, so the resale face stupid. I would never live my life on a computer. IG get you life for a chick, I boo ya. More power to ya. Love them from a distance. Why you
Have you ever been hurt so much that it made you feel sick to your stomach, that you could almost physically feel in your body the pain from an emotional hurt? It's because that pain was so activated in your brain that it literally released pain into your body because those thorns were activated. Every thought is either destructive or building. See, that's why we have to think about what we think about. How many times do we look at our lives and say, well, I could never do that. I'm not good enough to do that. Who am I to do that? That is fear-based, destructive, toxic thoughts that literally will develop thorn-based trees within our brain.
Ooh, come on.
And it's because that's what I've chosen to believe about myself. Remember, a thought creates a belief, and a belief has a corresponding action. And that action ultimately produces the results in my life.
My goodness, she took off from the free throw line. Come on. The voice of reason is on complete fire. Is your toxic relationship a karmic lesson or an unresolved trauma loop? Same thing to me. Do people unconsciously seek out partners who mirror their past betrayals? Listen, you breadcrumb yourself when you don't tap into self, right? It is your job. It's why you're here. I know you think your job is what you went to school for. And for many of us, we're not even in the field that we were educated in. I know you think that's your job. No, you are your job. And relationship is the workplace. I know you don't think of it that way. You haven't looked at it that way. But this is what it is. How does breaking trauma bonds align with spiritual ascension and self-actualization? Well, you can't be self-actualized until you become self-realized. You can't become self-realized until there is self-acceptance. If none of this is present, then you will be the breadcrumber of self intrapersonally, and you will attract interpersonal relationships that will mirror that breadcrumbing. Are you choosing your pain, or is your pain choosing you? 1-800-920-1580. Get to your phone lines. Epigenetics and generational trauma research suggests that behavioral patterns encoded in DNA may be misrepresented as karmic lessons when they are actually inherited survival mechanisms. 1-800-920-1580. The hermeneutics and apologetics of self-victimization, i.e. self-breadcrumbing. How the mind defends its own traps. Manipulator, user. If you manipulate yourself, you're going to manipulate your partner. If you're using yourself, or i.e. misusing yourself, you're going to misuse your partner. Come on, let's get this work. How does the psyche create elaborate justifications to sustain a victim identity? That's you breadcrumbing yourself. So you can always cast yourself in the role of victim regardless of what you do. Oh, 1-800-920-1580. Somebody come on now. You breadcrumb yourself when you can't be accountable to self. And you breadcrumb your partner when you can't be accountable to what you did in the relationship. I guess we'll never know how we hurt each other. Wow. 1-800-920-1580. Get this work tonight. Why do some people need an enemy to feel a sense of self? 1-800-920-1580. Are trauma narratives a form of personal branding in the age of social media? You've been breadcrumbing yourself, and now it's a brand. It's brand crumbing. Who wants this work tonight? Neuroplasticity research indicates that prolonged identification with victimhood rewires the brain to seek oppression and injustice even in neutral situations, perpetuating cycles of suffering. Doesn't that make sense with regard to the Buddha? What did the Buddha say? Attachment equals suffering. You done got attached to the pattern and the cycles of suffering. Now you're so at a point where you're going to justify staying there. The darshan of real love. Can unconditional love exist between two people? Or is it only attainable with the divine? See, you can't love them, your special person. You can't. You know why? Because you love what they do as opposed to who they are. Let's just be honest. I'm not saying it's impossible. I'm not saying people are not in love with each other. There's some people who found it. But for the most part, you're in love with what they do and how they show up for you and how they show up for your wounds. If nobody's looking at themselves, according to Carl Jung, most people are performing love. Ooh, cognitive love. Ooh, Lord, 1-800-920-1580. We got people on the line. I want to talk to folk. Do y'all want to talk to me? Rogish, Dallas, Texas. What are your thoughts?
Peace, brother. When it comes to the Dark Knight process, so the illusions, the dogma, the ideologies, all that is being ripped away. And by a divine or the source of the creation of all, I assume. The thing is, people have been operating within their avatar, and as the avatar, they've been giving away the breadcrumbs. Is it to protect themselves or to possibly have control over the one they're giving the breadcrumbs to?
But I think you
are they giving the breadcrumbs to themselves?
I think the answer is within the question. You know it's about control. You know, wherever there is fear, right, there will be control. Fear and control are two opposite sides of the same coin. You know this already. But the real question, Brother Rogish, is how do you breadcrumb yourself?
Well, I mean, I think like authenticity has always been a daily reminder for my fathers and uncles, growing up as a child, They used to say, bump the dumb stuff, son, you know what I'm saying? So,
right.
When it comes to a relationship, I this is my saying. I'm a superstar, she's a superstar. Meaning that whatever she has attached to her prior to her choosing to be with me, you don't know who feels to adore her or what she's been in someone's life or potentially instrumental, whatever. That's not for me to make that decision. So I respect her light. She understands that I feel with mine, but we see how we can rock together.
Brother Rogish, all your questions are good, or all your answers are good answers, but they're not directly addressing my question. And I understand what you said, that your father told you, but I know you haven't been on your square this whole time. I say you in your mid to late 30s, going into the 40s. Where you at?
Yeah, mid-40s.
Okay, then. So I know you done been through some things and you learned some things about yourself. I'm asking you, what in the hell were you doing to yourself that could classify, qualify, quantify as internal breadcrumbing that magnetized an external breadcrumber to you?
Okay, you know what? Being from North Tulsa, Oklahoma, and having a certain cultural perspective of how I really truly feel about pilgrims and holding that back, you know what I'm saying? That's been a crown on my job ever since first grade or whatever. So that, you know what I'm saying, having to be that kind of phony that Patrice O'Neal would teach you about, like, you know, don't want to be phony. Having to be phony like that to a degree.
Come
you know,
on,
you got
hey,
to on the gig and all.
Man, play the organs for Rogan. Come on, Rogish. Listen, not speaking your truth, not standing up for what you think and feel about a situation. So you called it being phony. That's breadcrumbing yourself. Your spirit needed what? You to speak up and tell the truth, your truth as you saw it, right? And your spirit felt malnourished when you weren't able to do it, correct?
That's true.
Come on. That's what we looking for. That's what we looking for, brother. Guess what you just did on that?
About Dallas Fort.
Come on. Dallas, Texas is in the building. Listen, if you want to bring your city in the building, all you got to do is call me at 1-800-920-1580. Listen, we having real conversations, and I need you to come talk to me. Let's get it.
Is it good to you? More Voice of Reason with Zoe Williams when we come forward.
To the 100 million people who owe the IRS money, this message is for you. We've helped tens of thousands of people close the door on their tax debt. So if you feel like you're stuck in a hole with IRS tax debt, then this is the easiest way to get a resolution quickly. To qualify for a no-pay or low-pay resolution, visit taxclosure.org to get free from the IRS once and for all.
To keep your bank accounts, income, and assets secure, tax closure is your same-day cure.
Lena Bloom for the Bail Project.
Imagine you're stuck in a jail cell and you can't afford bail and someone offers you a way out. Just plead guilty and you can go home and kiss your kids goodnight. What do you do? What thousands have. You plead guilty whether you are or not. Cash bail makes poverty a crime. That's why the Bail Project helps those who can't afford it while fighting to end cash bail. Because freedom should be free.
Brought to you by the Ad Council.
The California Crusader newspaper would like to thank all of our subscribers for their support throughout the years, proudly serving the South Los Angeles and South Bay areas for more than 40 years. The California Crusader is a multicultural, Black-owned, adjudicated newspaper that focuses on providing newsworthy information to the people in our community. We're constantly looking for ways to assist businesses in our community to connect with our subscribers. We provide low-cost, effective ways to promote your business with our reasonable and affordable advertising rates. You can participate by suggesting, sharing, and submitting your stories on the California Crusader newspaper Community Share Facebook group page, or visit our website at cal-cruise-news.com. That's calcruisenews.com. Then click on the Submit Now button located on the top right corner of the homepage, or text CCN to 42828. Again, text CCN to 42828. The California Crusader newspaper, working together to build a better community for our future. Subscribe today.
KBLA Talk 1580. We've got a lot to talk about.
KBLA Talk 1580, connecting you with services and solutions. If you need help getting your resume in order, finding job training, or landing a job, we've got 3 great options for you. First, the City of Los Angeles has WorkSource centers across the area offering free job support. The California Workforce Development Board can help you with everything from GED prep to vocational training at no cost to you. On the federal level, the Department of Labor's American Job Centers offer a full range of services for job seekers and businesses alike. Visit careeronestop.org, or for more info, just call California's Help Center or visit cwdb.ca.gov or call 916-657-1440. For the City of Los Angeles programs, go to ewd.lacity.gov or call 213-744-7300. All these services are free to help you get your next job. This is a community call to action from KBLA Talk 1580.
You know you want some more. It's the Voice of Reason with Zoe Williams on KBLA Talk 1580.
Wakanda. Welcome.
Big shot.
Hold up, wait.
Peanut butter insides.
No.
Outside. White body look like Gentiles. Emotional
emotional, emotional, emotional. Why you emotional? Why you emotional? You emotional, yeah. Big shot, big shot. Peanut butter insides. Outside. White body look like Gentiles, Gentiles. Emotional, 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 emotional. Why you emotional? Why you emotional? You emotional, yeah. Served up work for a kung fu. Kitty got juice, got work, got weight, got plenty, got them, got hurt, got more, got bitchy, yeah. Top off, getting topped off in the city, big top dog, and I dance on them like Diddy. Pop off and I pop back like Diddy, yeah. I hit the ceiling and forgot about the flow, yeah. Ring so big, got my haters on the ropes, yeah. This be the way, plus I live on the coast, yeah. When I touch a bag, young, do the most, yeah.
It was the psychologist, I think Abraham Maslow,
right,
who studied self-actualization. And what he found in a famous study, self-actualized people are authentically themselves and find satisfaction in that. And what he found is that the people that self-actualized actually are not normal by society standards.
Mm-hmm.
In fact, they tend to either implicitly or explicitly resist society's values and expectations. So that what does that tell us about a culture? That the people who are self-actualized have to actually express some independence from the culture that they live in.
Right, and a culture that is driving them towards, adherence to a certain set of norms. I mean, you talk about in this book, that in this book, how people who are on that path are often at odds with their peers or their friends or what have you. It's interesting that you bring that up because I just had this psychologist in here, Scott Barry Kaufman. Have you ever met him? He wrote this wonderful book called Transcend.
Okay.
And he's obsessed with Maslow, and he just did a deep dive into Maslow's life.
Okay.
And extrapolates on his work, which was not complete when he died in 1970.
That's right.
And gets into, the higher aspects of that hierarchy when it comes to self-actualization and ultimately transcendence, which is drawing unison between the self-actualization process and then in turn finding a way to channel it in service to others for the betterment of humanity, which is like the pinnacle, right?
Yeah.
And is that not similar to this idea of recovery being on that same kind of trajectory?
I love it. Come on. I love it. Don't you know you got to throw it all away? Everything, the template that raised you. Yes, it was a template. It was training wheels. You got to throw it all away. And you have to discover the truth of who you are, as told by you, as designed by you. Not your mama, not your neighborhood, not your daddy. Yes, you get some things. Okay, I got some, I learned some things. But then it's about you evolving what you got, improving what you got, transforming what you got, transcending what you got. In my 2021 book, The Shrouded Lighthouse, I took Joseph Campbell's work and told people right there, the hero's journey. No, this is the relationship journey. And I use the same model, right? You leave your known, which is your home, how you were raised. You're going to meet people that hurt you and that help you. But both hurt and help is designed to up level. You're going to meet challenges designed to up level. You're going to meet mirrors, i.e. mentors, designed to up level. You're going to face death. You're going to face failure. But as you continue to go, you're going to hit a rebirth where everything you've been through since leaving home has recontextualized the model that made you. Then when you complete the full circle, you're going to come back as a self-realized self. You're the same, but different. There's something that your mama and them, there's something different about you. When I saw my foster mother for the first time, we left in 79. I didn't see her again until around 94. When she saw me again, she goes, wow. I always thought you would develop into this type of man. Wow. I didn't know how you was going to do it. I saw where you came from, baby. I didn't know how it was going to happen. But wow. Sometimes, do you understand this? You're going to continue to breadcrumb yourself, right? Until you get on that damn hero's journey where you conquer the demons, or as Joseph Campbell called it, the dragons from within. So that leads me back to my question. If you don't do the work, you're always going to breadcrumb yourself, and you're always going to attract the mirror of that breadcrumbing. Because they're going to say, the way you treat yourself, how am I supposed to treat you better than you treat yourself? You allow the disrespect I bring to your life. You allow the dismissive attitude that I bring to your life. You allow the chaos that I bring to your life. Do you understand? Back to the question. The darshan of real love, authentic love. Can unconditional love exist between two people, or is it only attainable with the divine? See, you can't love your partner until you find God within so you can understand what love is. That's how you begin to love yourself. See, because when you discover the divine within self and you understand that the divine is synonymous with unconditional love, you automatically love all of you, light and dark, right? Shade and shadow. You love it all because you understand that you are now individuated. You're bringing that shadow into consciousness. You're understanding that you are complete as God is complete. Do you see? But right now, all of us are Peter, getting put back in the boat because we didn't have the faith in ourselves to understand that we are what he was. Whew. Darshan, what does it mean? The word darshan is the Sanskrit term that talks about witnessing the divine in human form. Oh, there's a divine being. That's a darshan. I saw it with my own. See, if you can't see the divine, if you can't have self-darshan, how are they going to respect you? Why would they give you a full meal instead of breadcrumbs? When I come forward, the voice of reason are going back to the phone lines.
Peanut butter insides, no. Outside, white body looks like Gentiles. Emotional. Why you emotional? You emotional, yeah. Big shot. Peanut butter insides, outside,